Hi, it's Jerazlyn Jovan, and this is Hip Hop and Enterprise. Today, I have the pleasure of chopping it up with a powerhouse entertainment marketer and entrepreneur, Miss Diddy, about her success and strides in business and philanthropy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? So happy to be here with you.
Yes, yes, you look nice and glowing. Still smiling after that busy BET weekend I know you had. How was your event, Toast to Black Hollywood?
It was incredible. I am still smiling. I think this was one of the first times in my career that I was able to kind of step into it, step outside of it, look at it from all POVs, and really sit and be proud. I think I worked so hard, so much, and I never really gave myself that opportunity in my career. But this is definitely one of those moments.
Beautiful. And can you touch on just the change in the name of the event and how it relates to the honorees that you selected for this year?
Oh man, absolutely. The change in the name of the event, I think, I know it came at a very pivotal time and a very impactful, important time. The event used to be called Toast to Young Hollywood. We changed it this year to Toast to Black Hollywood. Moving past not even fully past, but past the pandemic times, and still dealing in an era and time where things are so prevalent in the Black community that are going on, that are in the negative side of things. So many Black Americans being murdered at the hands of police and beyond. And just looking at these moments that we're having in America, and just taking the time to understand that whatever we're doing in this beautiful, glamorous life that we live on the entertainment side, that there's still real things happening in our world. And so Toast to Black Hollywood, that name change was a very bold move for myself, my company, and being a young entrepreneur, right? But I was telling someone that I was looking at the interview that the CEO of Essence had with the Breakfast Club, and she was very, very serious about saying that we're here to do Black. It's not about inclusive, so to speak. It's about the Black dollar, the Black person, the Black community. And that's what we want to scream right now. That's what I know. That's what's authentic to me. I am a Black woman. And so, what I do is for the little Black and brown girls and boys from the hood that want to become something great in life. And so I want to continue to build that narrative around myself, my brand, and my company.
I love it. I love it. And you were also honored during the same weekend. So you was very, into it. You were also honored as a change maker by Doritos.
Yeah.
And I got that announcement, and that's major right there. How does it feel being recognized for your work by such major brands?
It's one of those moments, again, in my career where I'm like, wait a minute, this is what it's about and this is what it's for. Doritos, this is their sophomore year of this program called Solid Black, where they showcase 4 change makers a year and in the Black and brown community and what they're doing in the community. And for them to choose me is really, truly an honor, because I've gotten extremely close to the people behind the brand that is pushing this program. Rob McCallan, Kim, Christina, and these incredible people are serious about this program. And Doritos is PepsiCo, and that whole company is really putting their money where their mouth is, where there's a lot of companies that pledged a lot of money and a lot of time and all these big words that they used to publicize their company during the time. And there's a lot of things that are unrealized. And PepsiCo and Doritos in particular, this Solid Black program is a part of their $5 million pledge. One of the multi-million-dollar pledges that they're doing in the Black and brown community, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. They partner with me on every side of things, no pushback. We did the Changemaker commercial, a piece of the commercial here in Los Angeles. I'm like, you coming to LA? I'm about to take you to the hood. What's up? And they like, let's go. And so I took them over to South Central to a program that I partner with called Solar I Can Foundation. to bring some real true change in the community. And that company is doing amazing things in the middle of South Central. And Doritos, part of the program, part of the commitment, they wrote them on behalf of me a $25,000 check. So that's one of the pledges. That's one of the things. There's multiple things that they're doing. So that company, and PepsiCo in particular, and Doritos, I couldn't be more proud to partner with them on multiple things in my company.
That's amazing. What even what you just mentioned, with knowing that they were coming to LA, and that's your stomping grounds, it's your hometown, and helping them to come inside, see the culture, understand. And then I was literally just covering a story on Magic Johnson, how he secured that 9-figure deal with Starbucks.
Oh yeah.
And
that was when I was a kid.
Yeah. And he had brought Howard Schultz to LA.
Oh yeah.
And walked away with that deal, because at first he pitched him and Schultz said no. And then he was like, you got to come see it.
I want to speak to that. I don't even mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
He, Magic Johnson, the pillar that he is in our community, I think that it'll never fully be, he won't ever get the true credit he really deserves. Because for me as a young Black girl growing up in the hood, I grew up in Inglewood and I grew up in Compton, these beautiful cities, but they were still inner city neighborhoods, underserved communities. He was the person that we knew, this Fridays is owned by Magic Johnson. This Starbucks is owned by Magic Johnson. The moves that he was making in the inner city, they're smack dab in the middle of the inner city. I think as a young Black girl, he was the first person of his caliber that I saw doing those things in the city. The many camps that he's led, the summer leagues, all of these things. And, I'm glad you actually spoke on that, because he really was a part of kind of that blueprint on what that could look like. He didn't have to. He's already Magic Johnson. He didn't have to do any of it, and I think for our generation, we saw Nipsey Hussle, do so many incredible things in a community that he would never ever fully get the true recognition for as well. So those pillars in our community, they're really impactful for what the needs of the world continue to do.
Of course. And tell us about your start in marketing and even working with celebrities. I know you grew up in LA. Was that an easy transition for you?
Yeah, I definitely started at the top almost, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely worked my way, but I say that to say, there's only one Hollywood in the world. It's in Los Angeles, so I was definitely at an advantage by being from this beautiful city and being able to move in certain rooms and arenas and with people. I grew up with these people from Los Angeles also that are our big people, like our Kendrick Lamar's, our YG's, Nipsey, we have so many great people from LA. Anthony Anderson's from Compton. Ava DuVernay's from Compton. Kendrick, we have so many, Russell Westbrook, like all of these great pillars. And, in my side of things, my brand also grew in those same, since I just wasn't an artist, I was a marketer, And so I really got my own personal start when Kanye started Good Music, and John Monopoly brought me in over there, still a mentor of mine to this day, to really do promotions. And that's really what I was. Like, I've always been a girl that was a trustworthy girl. I knew what was cool, what was fly, what was going on. I'm really from this city, born, bred, grew, in this world. And so it's all true authenticity of really like who I am. And I've just been blessed by God to be able to turn it into a really serious business. I think not back in the day, but like those pillars too were like your Dame Dashes and your Jay-Z's, the people, Kenny Burns, that were showcasing that personality was a way to also, you being your authentic self was a way to make money, right? So Steve Stout doing these huge deals, these brand ambassador deals back then and everything like that. A lot of people think like a Kim Kardashian brought that to the culture. Like, no, she didn't. She's a major piece of a bigger part of it. But there was guys like Dame Dash and Jay-Z in these iceberg deals. And you saw Lil' Kim wearing Fendi and wearing Christian Dior and Chanel and all these partnership moments that I think they don't also get the credit for
Right.
as well. So yeah, that's all marketing. That's all,
Yeah.
you know, Jay-Z tell us we're not drinking gold bottles, we'll drink them. You know, we're not drinking Cristal, we ain't drinking it, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's these things that are a big part of cultural moments that shape our way of marketing, our way of being. You know, hip hop will never get the credit we deserve either, just for that. So yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
And what were your views on, some of your early views on entrepreneurship growing up?
You know, I don't think I had early views, or I didn't know what they were.
Mhm.
If you talk to both my parents, they'll both say, you know, she was always going to do business. She was trying to write checks as a little girl. Like the people that wanted to play, like I wanted to play like writing checks and doing business type things. Like
Yes.
it's really funny. Literally, both
Oh,
my brothers, they're like, that's what she wanted to do. So I think I didn't know I wanted to do business. I knew as I grew up, like, oh no, I want to do business. That's what that looks like, right?
mhm.
And I think that's why the people like the me's of the world are really important to neighborhoods and inner city communities, so that we can show this is this is a talent as well. I
Yeah.
think so oftentimes, you know, it's either like you play ball, you sing, you rap, something like that, and it stops there. But it's like, well, no, successful business people, those are successful people.
Yes.
They live a great life, you know?
Yes.
And that's definitely my main concern, is to showcase even those young girls that are my age. Doing business is also a talent. There's a talent to it, it's an art to it.
Yes, that's one of my passions, particularly in the Black community, is instilling that within the younger generation, that there's so many avenues to be in the
Absolutely.
entertainment industry, because we grow up and we want to be the face because that's what we
Yeah,
see.
sure.
But oftentimes it's better to be the person making money off of the face, less stress, living a good life, and
Yeah,
you don't have to be that. Like, it's not, you can
yeah,
go to the grocery store and,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
so tell us about, when you launched the brand group, your company, and how you knew you were ready to start your own company after, working with your mentor and different brands before.
I think that if you wait to figure out if you're ready, you'll never start, because there'll always be something that will give you a reason to hold you back. And that's the same idea of fear, of doubt, which is this as powerful as hustle, go getter, initiation, motivation, all those things, they run hand in hand together. You just got to figure out which way you're going to pay attention to. And so for me, I mean, I move with what God tells me to do, and I move off of my gut. My gut is a very, very important thing to me, you know, and my unction, like, all right, it's time, you know. And once you start moving like that, it's kairos. Everything moves around you and forms to what you're doing. If you really believe, doesn't mean you're not going to go through hardships and ups and downs, because that's a part of life. It's a part of business. It's a part of growth, and it's a part of it's how you build character, you know. And so I just knew that I I was a promoter, and I was like working with all my boys, you know, and they're incredible promoters. But I'm like, yeah, I have to do what I need to do to make sure that the recognition, for how hard I'm working, is here. And the only way to do that is to create something that's yours, so that people know that it's yours. It looks like it's from you, it's yours. And that was important to me, for me to have something of my own.
That's right. And when it comes to securing high level partnerships, what would you say is a key ingredient to that, or the major secret?
Um, there's a couple. I mean, definitely positioning yourself well. You
Mhm.
know, social media is a great business card. However, if you use it wrong, it will work against you. And so positioning yourself as a person that does business, does good business, and is about business is what's important, because those people are black and white people. They're numbers people. You
Right.
will get people in there that care about the things that we care about, but people are so emotional that doesn't do well in business. Business is it's business. It's not emotion. You know what I mean? And so that's something I've been great at in business. I do good business. I'm a black and white person in business, but I do have passion in it. but I know when to turn that on, turn that off, right? Not turn it off, but I know when to channel it. And so, for those high level partnerships, that's what's important. Also, just being who you are. If you build it, they'll come. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go seeking out any of my partnerships. All of my partnerships have came to me, thank God, however, by way of whatever way that they come. Right. And so also reputation is important. People they care so much about maybe money or the way they look about something that they're not thinking about the reputation. Reputation is important. If it has to precede you, my reputation precedes you. If someone says, hey, you should probably call Miss Diddy on that, they're like, oh no, for sure. That's what matters. That's retention in business. That's how you keep business. That's how you keep partners happy about doing business with you, and that's what's important to me. My team present in that way. I'm not an easy person to work for. I'm not, because the things that people don't care about or think are not serious, I do. They are serious to me. Like my team, even at an event, like this is a social media era. My team better not pull out a phone and take any pictures. We're here to work. Right. I'm from the old school. Like I couldn't have a phone in school. You get suspended. You know what I mean? Like, and I still take those practices into what I do. I respect what those practices and that way of thinking and that older way of being, that what it built. I still use pen and paper to this day for everything. So, yeah.
Nothing beats pen and paper.
No,
okay.
Girl, look.
Okay. And you mentioned your team. It's funny because my next question is, what are some certain skills or qualities you look for when hiring?
Oof, it's tough because that's something that I have to go off my gut. I have to go off my gut. And some things I can't explain. So someone else in my team, like my partners or people that are high level execs in my company that I respect their opinion, may be like, we should have that person. I'll be like, no, because I have to go with what my gut is saying. I have to. There's nothing that trumps that. And if you learn to trust yourself, you won't be wrong, But if you are wrong, it can cost you everything. And so that's why you got to be very, very careful. But for me, working for me, it's a fine balance between being persistent but not being annoying. Like there's really fine two balances. It's not easy, and it's not easy to like work for me. People see the glamour, but they don't see any of the other real hard work. My core pieces of my company, they know that. They know they might get waking up at 3:00 in the morning. That might actually happen. And, my bad, but this is the price of winning and winning big. I'm here to win, and I'm here to win big. I'm not here to win mediocre. So it takes a different level of tenacity to do that. So I go with my gut and my unction. And if there's a piece of something that feels off, I cut it.
That have to. You always give me the perfect transition to the next question. What are deal breakers when it comes to severing ties with either an employee, a client, or a business partner?
Deal breakers definitely when employees are not doing what I asked of you. If you do something completely opposite of what I actually asked you to do, you have to go, because you can cost me everything because you don't have enough context as to why I'm saying do X, Y, and Z. You have to do X, Y, and Z if I'm saying X, Y, and Z. You cannot do A, B, and C because you thought it was smart to do that. I don't care how smart you think you are. You ain't smarter than me in this situation because you don't have enough context as to why I'm saying this. So not doing what I asked, that is like it's scary how automatic that is for me. Being sneaky, I don't like. I like upfront things. I don't care how painful the conversations are. I don't care if you think I don't like it, whatever. Being upfront it beats anything for me. Severing ties with partners is if we just don't mesh in business, which is okay too. Yeah. Sometimes I've had conversations with people, hey, maybe this is not a good marriage. And that's okay. I'd rather keep the honor, the dignity, and the respect over the check or the look or whatever the case may be. I'm quick to say, hey, maybe this is not, because because money's not my God, I don't have to just do everything based on that, you know. So I'm big on that, and I'm grateful. Like I'm at the place in my career and been here for a long time now. I don't have to work with people I don't want to. It's just not what I have to do. And so I honor that as well, because I want people to have the best experience in working with me. I care about what's said when I'm not in the room. You know, when it comes to my work, I don't care about my personality, but my work is important. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's it, if it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Some things you can work through and there's misunderstandings and things like that. And then some things you just trying to fit a square into a circle. And it's just like, for what? Who wins here? No one. So those deal breakers.
And you know, you mentioned you're from Inglewood and Compton, and you've worked with the mayor of Compton.
Oh yeah.
Yes, amazing, Asia Brown. And how was that experience for you? What did that feel like?
Man, it's interesting you said that, because when I said one of the moments in my career earlier in this conversation that I had to step back, and that was the other moment. That's the moment that came to my head, which is why I said one of the moments in my career. She's the other moment in my career where I was like, okay, this is what I'm here for. This is what matters. And if this is the level in which that I've been able to grow from this city and get to this space, this is what it's all for. She's an incredible sister of mine. You know, we're extremely close on a personal level and in business as well. And she's always respected me and respected the way I work and what I do and how much I bring to the table. And I think that was always have been our recipe for us working together, is the level of respect. And she'll be like, sis, let's do it, sis. Let's do it. You know, she never pushed back on anything. And she is the reason why Compton as a city has been as progressive as it's been in the last years that she's been in office. She stepped down now. She's a family woman now. She has 2 beautiful children. She's, oh my God, the cutest and amazing, most smart young girls ever. But she did a lot for our city in the recognition of it, and the opening doors in it, and the partnerships in it, and making sure that those key people that are from the city was involved in movements in the city. Right. You know, she gave Kendrick Lamar the key. She's had Anthony Anderson be during the parade, whatever the word is called, when they
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal.
Yeah.
You know, her partnership with Dr. Dre in the city, Serena and Venus, I think they did their center on her time. You know, just all of those things, you know, she's made the city progressive, which in turn has shined such a huge light on Compton as a city. You know, Compton's a major city. It's a charter city. We have our own rules. We have all of that. It's over 100,000 you know, people that live in the city, which makes us a major city. And so it's been remarkable working with her. I'll forever, you know, we'll forever work together as sisters, as business partners, and everything. Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to your community work, because you do a lot for the community, which is groundbreaking for the fact that, you know, you're working with so many A-listers, and you can see the passion that you have for going back to your hood and putting on for the kids over there. When you're doing your philanthropy work, is there a bigger goal in mind?
Such a great question. I think the bigger goal is it's an ever evolving thing. I don't think it's set at anything. I think that it is at the idea of building up more of me's from the hood, from the community. If I build up 10 Miss Diddy's from where I'm from, then I actually did the world a service, because they're just going to go out and build up more and do more, right? And so, you know, even down to my church, like my church efforts and my tithing and things like that. Like, you know, I go to Greater Zion in Compton, you know, Pastor Michael Fisher. So I'm staying, you know, in my community and giving to that. You know, I had wrote down right now when you said my to-do list on my pen and paper, but I was like, oh, I got to send my tithes check because I haven't need to go to church Sunday. But just saying, you know, like, that's what's important to me, you know, making sure that that's taken care of. And all of these things, you know, I don't speak about, I just do. But those people will be like, no, she does this. She's consistent. She's there. She's, you know, a part of it, you know. And so I do what I can at a high level. You know, I'm committed to it. And so the greater goal is that building more me's
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
And what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking to acquire funding for their entertainment or marketing based company? And what would you say are new trends that investors are looking for?
You know what? I've never had an investor in my life,
Mm,
and that's not my business model. I that's not my thing. Be
mm,
no reason to have an investor
mhm.
from my side. So
Right.
I'm not fully sure because I believe in the hard work, and maybe I'm working backwards, but I just believe in the hard work and building it on your own because you know once you take $1 from anyone, you better make sure those deliverables and those ROIs are met, because you now owe those people. For me, I don't want to owe anybody but myself, God, you know what I'm saying? My car note, my house
Right.
note, you
Right.
know. But my advice honestly would be don't do it unless you sure you want to do it. It's not for the faint at heart. It's not, we glamorize this word entrepreneurship and for the right reasons. We need our own things. But there's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot that you have to build yourself up in order to keep it going. As a CEO, as an entrepreneur, I have a whole team under me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And my whole team could be having a bad day, and I got to deal with each one individually on whatever they're dealing with personally, aside from what I may be dealing with.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot that comes with it. There's great parts of it. There's great parts of it if you do it right, but definitely my advice is make sure that's what you want to do because the person that works behind the entrepreneur builds up the entrepreneur is just as important. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing or at the level I'm doing without my team, without the people that build me up, that want no part of the front line of things. So if everybody, here's the problem: when people want to be me, they can't work for me because that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? And I've been there, like, oh, you actually just want that. Look,
Yeah.
that's not going to work for me because I need people that's here to work, you
Right.
know? So definitely make sure that's what you want to do. And try to take some time out to listen to what successful entrepreneurs have done, but their struggles and their challenges and their L's, because we all take L's. And when you win at the level in which like I win in life, my L's are low. They're heavy L's. And the L's that I've taken in life, some people would take them out. You know what I mean? And so, but I've learned to suffer well. I've learned to suffer well in the middle of those valleys so that, when I'm at my peaks, that I'm still the same person, that I'm still keeping the same values, and I'm still understanding that life is bigger than me and we're just fish in this pond.
Mm,
So yeah, I think people should get to know themselves better
of
and make
course.
sure they're aligned with what they're supposed to be doing with what God called them here to do.
So when is the book coming?
Ah,
Cause girl, I'm like, okay, that's chapter 3. I got my highlighter. I'm ready to take down notes.
Unless it's an audio child, I got ADD. I get to start
I know
writing.
you're
What
gonna
was
just
I
need
doing?
somebody to just sit down with you and just
I
write it.
know. I know. Oh, that's a lot. I might, you know what? I might start. I'm trying to take a vacation whenever that happens.
Whenever that happens, because you're a gift. You're a gift,
Thank
definitely.
you.
And so you gotta keep shining that
Thank you
light,
so much. Thank
shining
you.
that light as much as possible, because we
Thank
need
you.
it. We all making up for a lot of lost time out here. So
We
my
making up
last
for a
question
lot
I just like to ask, especially for decorated, successful entrepreneurs like yourself, how do you like to relax? That's always very important when you don't got, when your laptop is closed, you don't have
Yeah.
to hit up one of your team members for anything. What are you doing to just woosah?
The only way I can truly do that is if I go away. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you be always in the Bahamas, but that's where I relax. That's where I go. I love to go to the Bahamas. It's one of my favorite countries. They're incredible people there. They're so good to me. And, I'll go and I'll stay for a while, so that I need to get by water. I'm a nature girl. I'm a Leo. I'm a lion. I'm a nature girl. I have to, put my feet in some grass and some sand and some water and get calm and really calm my body and my nerves and and drown out the noise and listen to what God is telling me to do for all the seasons in my life. Because even though I live the type of life that I live, but people that know me, I'm a huge introvert. Like it has to be quiet around. My home is really, really quiet. It always sounds like this, like that's really important because I have to be clear on what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. The things that I'm doing, when you're a trailblazer, especially in the type of business in which I work, and I'm a blueprint and trailblazer and the first to do things, I have to be sure and clear about the moves that I'm making. They're not just fly-by-night moves. While I'm brave in my moves, but they have to be, oh, okay, that's what I'm about to do. And I have to hear it clear so that I'm clear about what I'm doing, because I know that the world's looking at me. That's different. Not everyone has that type of, some may say pressure, or that type of gift. So I go to the Bahamas and I get clear and I get quiet and, I have a good time, but I get by the water and I try to get clear.
A lot of gems drop. You continue on. I'm so excited that we were finally able to have this conversation. And I'm going to share this on all of our channels. Just keep shining your light, being great, and inspiring the next generation of powerhouse women.
Yes. And thank you to Black
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Always pushing. Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy booking that trip to Bahamas.
Yes.
Very much deserved.